Imagine being trapped in an invisible web, a relationship that drains your energy, makes you question your own sanity, and holds you back from growing. You feel that something is wrong, yet you can't seem to break free. But what if Buddha had something to say about this? How can the Enlightened One's teachings help us identify and overcome toxic relationships? Welcome to Modern Monk Wisdom, where we explore the wisdom of ancient masters and apply it to the modern world. In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into the Buddhist perspective on destructive relationships, and more importantly, how to free ourselves from them. Buddhist philosophy teaches that suffering is born from attachment. We cling to people, situations, and expectations, even when they hurt us. But why do we insist on staying in relationships that bring us pain? The answer may lie in desire, one of the root causes of suffering according to Buddha. When we enter a relationship, we create expectations, hoping the other person will complete us or bring us happiness. But when that relationship becomes a cycle of pain and manipulation, fear of loneliness keeps us trapped. How many times have you wondered if you should stay with someone, even knowing the relationship is destructive? The fear of losing what little we have often blinds us to the cost of staying. Buddhism teaches us that everything is impermanent, including relationships. Buddha invites us to reflect. Are we holding on to a person out of genuine love or fear of change? Buddha spoke of upadana, harmful attachment. This kind of attachment blinds us, making us believe that without that person, we are nothing. But the truth is, all dependency leads to suffering. Have you ever noticed how people with low self-esteem tend to hold on to toxic relationships more tightly? That's because they seek in others the validation they haven't found within themselves. But Buddha would remind us, true happiness can never come from outside. It is found in our own minds, in our own inner peace. So take a moment to ask yourself, are you truly happy in this relationship, or are you just afraid to leave? In Buddhism, wisdom is one of the greatest virtues. But how can we use it to recognize a toxic relationship before it destroys us? To do this, we need to understand samsara, the endless cycle of suffering that we ourselves perpetuate. In many relationships, we unconsciously repeat the same destructive patterns. We find ourselves trapped in cycles of emotional abuse, manipulation, and guilt. Have you ever felt emotionally drained after interacting with someone? Have you ever felt that no matter how much you give, it's never enough? If the answer is yes, then maybe it's time to question that relationship. Buddha taught that every action has consequences. This is the principle of karma. If someone constantly hurts us and we continue to allow it, we are participating in the cycle. This doesn't mean we should respond with anger, but rather with discernment. If someone destroys your peace, they are out of alignment with your spiritual path. You can try to help them, but you should never sacrifice yourself for someone who refuses to change. Ask yourself, does this relationship help me grow or does it suffocate me? Does it bring light or only darkness? Buddhism teaches us to cultivate relationships based on metta, loving kindness. This means wishing well for others without expecting anything in return. But real love should never feel like a burden. Leaving a toxic relationship is not easy. We feel guilt, fear, and insecurity. But Buddha teaches that liberation begins the moment we realize we deserve peace. The first step is samadhi, mental clarity. As long as we remain confused, we cannot make the right decisions. In Buddhism, there is a powerful practice called vipassana, which means seeing things as they really are. It is a meditation that helps us see reality without the illusions created by attachment. When we observe our relationships without emotional filters, we often realize that we've been holding on to something that died long ago. And here comes one of the hardest lessons. Sometimes the truest act of love is letting go. This doesn't mean abandoning someone with resentment, but understanding that each person must walk their own path. As Buddha said, you, as much as anyone in the entire universe, deserve your own love and affection. So look within and ask yourself, if I stay in this relationship for another 5 years, will I be happy or broken? Even after leaving a toxic relationship, emotional scars remain. We feel anger, resentment, guilt. But Buddha teaches that forgiveness is not a gift to others, it is a gift to ourselves. Holding on to resentment is like gripping a burning coal, expecting the other person to get burned. Compassion is one of the pillars of Buddhism, and that means not only having empathy for others, but also for ourselves. After all, how many times have we blamed ourselves for staying in a destructive relationship for too long? The path to enlightenment involves releasing the weight of the past. There is a Buddhist practice called Tonglen, which means breathing in suffering and breathing out compassion. It is a powerful exercise to transform pain into growth. And maybe that's exactly what Buddha would tell us. May your pain become your awakening. Now ask yourself, do I want to carry this pain for the rest of my life, or am I ready to set myself free? Once we escape a toxic relationship, a fundamental question arises. What comes next? Many people feel lost, afraid to start over. But Buddha reminds us that true freedom comes from self-knowledge. Inner silence becomes our greatest tool. Meditation and mindfulness help us rebuild our self-esteem. When we stop seeking validation from others, we discover that everything we need has always been within us. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson Buddha would leave us. Do not seek in others what only you can find within yourself. If this video resonated with you, share in the comments. What is the greatest lesson you've learned about relationships? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Modern Monk Wisdom, like, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.